Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, or Sunday for those of you who are waking up on the other side of the world. Um, Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. So it's a healing kind of weekend. It's not just going to be today. This is going to last until for the next couple of days. Sorry, I forgot to put do not disturb on my phone. We all know how I get distracted. That's actually in my chart. That ADD is actually in my birth chart. I found it the other day and I was like, oh, dang. That's why I get so distracted so easily. My mind is constantly like going nonstop all the time. So today is a big healing day. Tomorrow is a big healing day. It's also, and this healing stuff could really come about because of like deception of yourself. Like we have things that are happening where the moon is square Chiron. The moon is now in Capricorn, which is grounding all of this earth energy that we're going through. So that's going to be our saving grace here. So all the stuff that's in Virgo right now, the sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus, all being in Virgo right now, with Capricorn and Saturn, Pluto, and the moon in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus is really helping ground all of this energy. Some of you might feel a little too grounded. It is possible to feel too grounded. Usually when I feel like way too grounded, I literally like don't want to move. Like all I want to do is veg out on the couch. It's the weekend. If you have time to do that, let yourself do that without beating yourself up. The things that could really happen today, Mercury is opposite Neptune. So that is kind of like the fantasy of the mind, delusions. You could really deceive yourself in a lot of ways. And with this Venus trine Pluto happening right now, especially if you are in a new relationship or something that's not really established yet, like if you send somebody a text and you don't hear back from them, you're going to get all of these things in your mind. You're going to start telling yourself stories that are like big fat lies. It's kind of like the Five of Swords, which I would be really interested if the Five of Swords does come out during when I'm doing the reading. Because that's the kind of energy. It's the deception of your own mind. You think that somebody else is deceiving you, but really you're deceiving yourself. And with this moon squaring Chiron, Chiron is in Aries, also in retrograde in Aries. That is like the trigger, right? So in the next couple of days, if you're finding that you feel deceived more often, or the things that you're telling yourself, it like sounds plausible, but then later on in the day, you're like, wait a second, that was really like, that wasn't real. That person really wasn't ignoring me, or that person wasn't really ghosting me or pretending I didn't exist. They just had to go to work, or they had to do this, or they had to do that. So really pay attention to your triggers right now, especially when it comes to like romantic partners. I am not going to tell you who and when to date, but now is really like, I would not suggest getting into a new relationship right now, because there is just a lot of flight of fantasy, and that Venus trining Pluto, that right there could kind of be the red flag of a karmic relationship. If you just met somebody during these last couple of days, it could also be that maybe you met that person and didn't know that they already were seeing somebody and you guys have a really close connection. That could be the Venus trine Pluto thing as well. So just be very cautious about the stories you're telling yourself right now. Just be very, very cautious. And this moon squaring Chiron is just going to be, it's going to be just for a couple of days while the moon is in Capricorn. It happens every month. It's going to happen while Chiron is in Aries the whole time. It happens when Chiron is in every sign. But these are our opportunities. It could be a very profound healing time for you, something that is really, really needed. This is just the energy that's kind of pushing you to heal. When I like tell people that now is the time, or now is perfect for like healing time for you, Everybody kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But it's all about evolution. That's what this is doing for us. Healing and allowing yourself to be triggered right now is good if you are aware of why it's happening or where it's coming from. It's not necessarily something to be scared of. Just be on guard. And if something does trigger you, don't force it down and try and like deceive yourself into thinking that you don't need to heal it or it's not a wound. It's just being really, really aware. And the beautiful part is if you allow yourself to heal now, or you allow that wound to come up and kind of heal yourself during this time, it's going to lessen over time. Like maybe next time this happens, or next time the energy is right for healing, it's not, it won't be so hard, or it'll be completely gone. Maybe, you know, so allow yourself to think of it that way. Like if I really take care of this right now, because that's what the energy is asking you to do. If you are taking some time and being really, really grounded right now and allowing yourself to have a relaxing weekend and not do much this weekend, the big thing is to not beat yourself up, because that earth energy will, especially with the sun and Mars trining Saturn, that's like, get your responsibilities done. Let's get going. Now's the time to do it. So if you're really trying to just chillax this weekend and not do any work, or like if that's your actual purpose to do is to just relax this weekend and not do anything, don't beat yourself up for doing that. Everybody needs some time off. Everybody needs a couple of days to chill. So let yourself do that. Okay. I think that's everything. I have like all my notes down here. One of these days I'll have my notes up somewhere where I'm not having to like look down at the page, but there's just so much going on right now. And we're coming up where the sun and Mercury is going to be squaring Jupiter real soon. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Okay. And here's the thing is, there's sort of this real, and this is exactly what I was talking about when it comes to deception, deceiving yourself, and relationships or deep connections that you have with people. So we have the moon, thank you, moon, and then we have the lovers, and we have the 5 of cups. I do want to tell you guys, I still have openings with the 20% off readings. Forgot to mention that in the beginning. And like the 30-minute readings are only $60 right now, and that's not going to happen again until the holidays. So take advantage. Like we're taking a couple of months off of doing the 20% off before the holiday season. So take advantage of doing that. Plus we also have 20% off of my t-shirts and coffee mugs, and those are going to change before the holidays as well. So just letting everybody know. All of that information is in the description box. If you want the 20% off for the apparel and the coffee mugs, the code is fearless at checkout. Okay. Yeah, this is some really deep. Some of us are being super triggered when it comes to like maybe the twin flame journey right now, big time. So we have the moon, we have the lovers, we have the 5 of cups, we have the tower, the strength card, and justice. So this is building you. This is like, I'm actually hearing that this is building character within you. It's building, it's like, it's helping you form kind of an alliance with yourself almost. You're recognizing right now, some of you are actually recognizing right now that the relationship that you were in or that you have been in is no longer working, or the people that you've been, that you've had really strong connections with or attractions to, it's just not working anymore. And this 5 of cups is like going back and reminiscing and being really sad about all the things that had to happen, but also realizing at the same time that it had to happen. It had to happen for evolution. It had to happen for growth, and allowing yourself to see where you are not allowing yourself to see where you're not focusing on yourself, paying attention to. We have all major arcanas except for the Five of Cups. I mean, that's really telling. It's a very potent time right now. Some of you are having, like, getting divorced, or some of you are in the middle of legal battles also. But to me, justice more than anything is letting you know that these energies, even though it may feel rough right now, or it may feel a little bit more emotional right now, they're actually balancing you out and bringing you into a better existence. You're lining up with your purpose in a better way. If you look on this Justice card, there's actually the Wheel of Fortune above her head. So having that, having this knowing that the energy is shifting you into a better space, into a better existence, should be your saving grace right now. You know, the Tower doesn't have to be scary. It feels actually like, just, you know, like the energy of this reading right now, it doesn't even feel, because I feel like the Tower's already happened. And I feel like the Five of Cups has already happened. And now you're recognizing it and realizing how strong you truly are, and pushing forward and pushing ahead. The thing is there's that underlying sadness. Like, I just feel this heavy, you know, like I just kind of want to sit back and not exist, sort of thing. And that's sort of hard to swallow with this reading, because I know that there are several of you that really wanted it to work out in a different way. And sometimes when things don't work out the way that we want, every time when things don't work out the way that we want them to, every single time, there's always something better coming, right? And we have to remember that. That's the rainbow, you know? After the rain, that's the rainbow, is knowing that something better. And when I say something better, it could very well be the same person. They just grew up. They just healed themselves. They're no longer in denial about needing to be a different person. It could be but it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. You have to give it time, and you have to know that the reason why it's not working out now is because they still have so much more that they need to understand about their journey. And that's not your job. It's not your job to try and teach that. See what I mean? What did I say? The rainbow after the rain. And this is what's happening right now, is you don't see that 10 of Cups there because it was an illusion. It looked a different way. That 10 of Cups looked differently for so long that you stopped being able to see it. And after, oh wow, and that's interesting, the Magician actually fell out too. I didn't see that. So we have the Magician, and which is perfect, I love that the Magician came out also, which is really funny because it actually came out, it fell directly onto the Strength card when I looked down, but we were clarifying the Moon, so we're going to use it here. And it really goes along with manifesting the Strength too. Manifest, you made it happen, really, is what's happening here, is you're making your own happiness. You're the creator of your own life and your own happiness. And there's kind of this aha moment where you're just like, oh damn, I create my own magic. I create my own happiness. I am no longer going to allow anybody else to have the power over my own happiness and how I feel about things. So let's see what the Lovers. You have to let go of the notion. You have to let go of the label. And even if you say to me, But Betsy, I don't do labels. I'm not, I'm not going to say that we're twin flames, or I'm not going to say we're soulmates. I'm not going to say blah, 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 blah. But we have this really strong connection. So I feel like we're meant to be together. That's labeling something also. You can have a strong connection with somebody and not be meant to be together. You can have a strong connection with somebody because they came into your life to teach you a lesson and to teach you and also to help you heal a wound, right? So the Four of Pentacles on the Lovers, it's time to let go of what this once meant for you. It's time for you to allow the universe to work in your life, because there's somebody else, or there's another energy, or when I say there's another energy, it could be the same person but showing up in a different way, right? So, but you have to leave yourself open to all possibilities. And I feel like you are. There's just this little tiny, it's like that one last snag, right? So be really patient with yourself. When you get into, when you're binge watching Netflix, when you're, whatever, like The Walking Dead is coming back on October 6th. And so I've decided that even though I watched all seasons like earlier this summer, I'm going to have to do it again. Just because it's like, I'm not going to like binge watch it in one weekend. That would be impossible. That's why I'm giving myself plenty of time to do it. But what I'm saying is, when you're deciding this weekend to sit in front of the TV and binge watch Netflix, be kind to yourself while you're doing it. And take some of that time while you're sitting on your couch to turn the TV off also, and get quiet with yourself and allow your emotions to come up and allow your emotions to flow through you. And then you can go on distracting yourself again. It's in those moments of silence and allowing yourself to not be distracted by the outside world all the time is when you can balance out your heart and your mind, when they can get on the same page. And that's what temperance is all about. It's balancing out the heart and the mind. It's being patient with yourself during these Five of Cups moments, but the balance is what's needed there more than anything. I need a drink. You can get all of the sayings that are on my t-shirts. And not every t-shirt I wear is available for purchase. It's just specific ones that were made for me. But all of the sayings on all of my t-shirts you can get on coffee mugs, by the way. If you don't want a t-shirt that says welcome to evolution, but you want a coffee mug that does, you can do that. In fact, I think I'm going to get one of those. It says welcome to evolution, where this guy is over here meditating. He starts off as a monkey and he ends up meditating. That's the evolution, right? Let's see what this tower is. I'm distracting everybody from the tower energy. Oh, yes. This is the past. And it has to do with a soulmate, or it has to do with somebody that you have a very strong connection with. But this is also talking about the destruction of past lives. Because we can even program ourselves to believe that because we were a certain person in a past life, if you've done like a past life regression, like I have, but I was persecuted in all of my past lives. So if I were a different person, knowing that, that actually made me heal myself in this lifetime. Knowing that, when I went through that, it helped me to heal. But some people will do a past life regression and they'll hold on to that label. That they're just, they'll sit in the victim mentality because their soul isn't quite ready to heal that part of them. And they'll hold on to that storyline, right? That they're supposed to be persecuted, or they will be persecuted in every single lifetime. I stopped telling that story to myself a couple of years ago when I healed that part of me. But that's what this tower is trying to do. It's trying to break down all of those stories that you've been telling yourself for years, and allowing you to see it in a different perspective and show you that you are in charge of how happy you're going to be. You wake up in the morning knowing, right? And then coming down, I mean, this is like all about relationships today. The Two of Cups on the Strength card. What happens then is you become stronger in knowing what you deserve in a relationship. Some of you are in relationships right now that are strong. I don't want to put into anybody's mind that, oh my God, like I'm being deceived by my lover just because of the energy. That's not the case. Some of you are in relationships that are going to stand the test of time because you are open and honest with each other, and you can trigger each other into healing without like blaming the other person, without putting blame on the other person. That's a healthy relationship. When you guys can trigger each other in a relationship and not blame the other person for doing it, or not run away from it, or not deceive yourself, that's a healthy relationship. Some of you are realizing that you have to let go of the past because you can be in a healthy relationship now, right? And that's the justice in all of this. And that's the beauty and the knowing and the whole point behind healing yourself. So you can have a pause. I told you, 5 of Swords. Oh my God, I love it when I'm psychic. I love it when I'm psychic. But that's the whole point of it all, right? Is to allow yourself to have the best relationship with yourself first and foremost, and be whole inside. And then you can have a super healthy relationship with somebody else. Now, being whole inside doesn't necessarily mean that all of your wounds are 100% healed, or that you know who you are, or that you know what your purpose is. Being whole inside is saying, I know what I deserve, and I can have healthy boundaries. And sometimes we can pull each other along in that, right? Like if you're in a strong relationship, that's why you guys trigger each other, because everybody is constantly evolving, and everybody has things that they have to work on, right? We're not perfect, and we're never going to be perfect. This is a journey, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not going to happen in a day or a week or 2 weeks, even a year. It took me 31 years to heal that one divine wound that I have. That, you know, I'll talk about the divine wound in my manifestation and alignment masterclass that I'll be doing in October, which you will get more information on this coming week. But right now, so that's what one of the things we're going to talk about in that class is the divine wound and how to heal it. That one divine wound, and that's something that I kind of coined myself. There wasn't really a name to what was happening to me or why I had to heal this one. And usually that one divine wound is the source of a lot of different wounds in your life, and you don't even realize it until you heal that one. Okay. So on the Justice card, we have the 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Swords on Justice is basically saying that you could be deceiving yourself because you think somebody else is deceiving you. Like for me, the 5 of Swords is about lying to yourself, right? It could be that somebody else was deceiving you as well, or you think that somebody else was deceiving you, and that's a story that's looping around in your head. I feel like that it's time to, this is all about forgiving yourself and forgiving other people. And the 7 of Wands is saying, with the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles, is saying, keep your boundaries up. Have very, very strong, healthy boundaries, because we got a lot of work to do. And you're getting some extra energy in the coming day. Like after you do the deep healing, you're going to feel this kind of energy boost where you're going to realize, okay, I can keep going now. I don't have to like stop anymore. I can keep going. So again, if you want to get a personal reading with me, I do have, not this week, but next week, I have some openings. So there's only like a week and a half wait. Please don't ask me when I send you a time for a reading. Please don't ask me if I have anything sooner. If I had anything sooner, you would get something sooner than that. So when I send you a day and a time, that is the soonest I can get you in. So please don't ask me unless you want an emergency reading, which is scheduled within 1 to 3 days, business days. Unless you want an emergency reading, I don't have anything sooner. So general readings are being scheduled a week and a half to 2 weeks out right now. 20% off. The 30-minute reading is only $60. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, and there are still some 1-question readings available as well. So those are only $30. All of it's on my website, fearlessintuition.net. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see each other soon. Bye.